No more breakaways. And with that being said, hello my fellow oddities, welcome to a new video. Today we are doing part 2 of where to take Mortal Kombat 12, and today we're going to be discussing the gameplay. How should the characters fight, how should it feel, and what should be removed, what should be changed, and of course what should be added to breathe some new life into the combat of Mortal Kombat. So without further ado, let's first discuss what just completely did not work in Mortal Kombat 11 and what should just be flat out removed from Mortal Kombat 12. Well, like I said at the very start of this video, breakaways, just get out of here. And along with that, just get rid of most of the new features from Mortal Kombat 11 like short hops and defensive rolls. I've never seen anyone use those online, and I'm online very frequently. And the only time I've ever used anything like this is like on accident. And every time I've done it on accident, it's not been helpful, it's been very, very annoying. The next thing that should be removed are friendships. Now yes, they're very funny, and I don't know, some people might get angry if they're not in the next game, but I just don't think it really fits the Mortal Kombat 12 vibe, or at least my Mortal Kombat 12 vibe, because Mortal Kombat 11 was quite a silly game. It had older characters meeting their younger selves and time travel and all that stuff, but from what it seems, Mortal Kombat 12 is just going to be like a normal tournament story with the Great Kung Lao and Shang Tsung and all that stuff, so I don't think friendships would really fit a more gritty tone. And finally, this might be a bit controversial, but I think super moves like fatal blows and x-rays should just not be in the next game. Listen, is it cool to have these gruesome, full-on cinematic cutscenes in the middle of a fight? Maybe the first time, but after that, it just gets repetitive and annoying. It's to the point where in Mortal Kombat 11, these things gotta be like 10 to 15 seconds long, and I get they're only able to be used once per match, but if you're anything like me, then, well, you play a lot of matches. So I think there should be a different OMG high damage type of move, which I will talk about later, but right now, let's go into the section of what should be changed from Mortal Kombat 11. The first thing that I want changed is more on the graphic side than gameplay, but I just wanted to talk about it, and that's the damage effects. Now you might be thinking that I want it to be super over the top. If someone gets punched, I want a gallon of blood to come out of their nose and mouth and eyes, I don't know. And by the end of the match, the character should be just like reduced down to skeletons or something. No, I actually want quite the opposite. Strangely enough, I feel like making it feel more realistic would also make it feel more brutal. Like if you just started the match and someone gets punched in the face, blood shouldn't be spurting out everywhere. It should just be a punch, just like, ugh. And that's it. Like, I didn't start bleeding everywhere. That might be because I didn't really punch myself that hard, but I don't know, let me try. Ugh. And I'm fine. Why did I do that? That was not necessary. Anyways, but as the fight goes on, that's when I start wanting, like, blood to start coming out of people's faces and stuff like that. And I also want it to show in the character animations as the fight goes on that the characters are getting tired, they're injured, and there's actual impact to the fight you just had. Like by the finish him screen, unless you got like a double flawless victory or something, even the character who won should be like holding his body like injured and tired when he does his fatality. And the final thing that I'll talk about with the damage is something that'd probably be very, very difficult for the animators to do and probably won't happen, but I just think would be cool. If a character gets sliced across the chest with a sword or something, then there should actually be like a slice across their chest. Like, I want the damage that is on the character's body to actually be consistent to what's been happening in the match. I understand that's probably very, very difficult to do, but I don't know, I just thought it'd be cool. The next thing that I think should be changed is the flawless block. I actually don't think flawless blocks are that bad in Mortal Kombat 11, but I think they should be changed just a little bit. Instead of being flawless blocks, they should just be like normal counter moves. So if you block at the perfect time, there should be an automatic animation that plays of the character countering the other person's move, and that would leave a combo open for the other character. It's basically the same thing, kinda, it's just like a little change. And the final thing that I think should be changed are crushing blows. This is what should replace X-rays and fatal blows for those high damage types of moves. They should pretty much be the exact same way they were in Mortal Kombat 11, besides for 3 things. First of all, you wouldn't do them by doing a move but with like certain requirements fulfilled. No, it would actually cost like meter. It would be the same buttons that you use to do an X-ray or a fatal blow, RT and LT if you're on Xbox, or L2 and R2 if you're on PlayStation. I don't know what it is on PC or Nintendo Switch, so don't ask me. If you press those 2 buttons while doing a normal move, then it will do a crushing blow, but it will cost your full meter to do it. The second thing is that they should do a lot more damage, obviously, if they're going to be replacing stuff like fatal blows and X-rays. And finally, I think they should put weakness defects on the opponent, especially depending on where they were hit. For example, if you break somebody's leg or something, then they should have a slowness defect. Because obviously, it's harder to walk with a broken leg than just like a normal leg. And the final section we have here is what should be included, what should be added that's completely new to Mortal Kombat 12. Now, technically, not all of these things are completely new because some of them were just not in Mortal Kombat 11, but were in Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat 9, but we're kind of just going off of Mortal Kombat 11, so I think it works. First of all, stage transitions. Why are we still yet to get these? Now, they don't have to be like Injustice level, full-on cinematic cutscenes. They can just be like how they were in the old games where you uppercut someone through the ceiling or you punch someone through a wall and now you're in a new place. It's that simple. And the second thing that should be added are breakers, basically the same way they were in Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 9, but I'd really like it if they had new animations specific to each character. For example, if Sub-Zero does a breaker, maybe he should summon an ice clone and they hit that instead of him. Just an example. Now on to the third thing that should be added in Mortal Kombat 11, returning from Mortal Kombat X, the running feature. And it'd pretty much be the exact same thing besides for one little thing I'd add, and I can't believe I'm about to say this right now, but I think Mortal Kombat 12 should take from a WWE 2K game. I can't believe I just said that. One second, I have to like leave for a second. I'm so ashamed of myself. Why did I say that? Why? This is a dumb idea. What am I talking about? But no, it's a good idea. I'm coming back. This is a good idea. Hear me out. In the latest WWE game, if someone attacks you by pressing a button, but you also press that exact same button at the exact same time, then you'll counter that attack. I think that should be included for the running feature in Mortal Kombat 12. If someone's running at you and they press a button, but you press that button at the exact same time, then you should dodge out of the way and then continue the fight without getting hit. And if you don't press a button or you press the wrong button, then you should just get hit normally. And finally, the last thing that I want added to Mortal Kombat 12 are weapons. Yes, I think the weapons feature from Mortal Kombat 4 through Mortal Kombat Armageddon should return in Mortal Kombat 12. But obviously, those games were 3D, so there has to be some changes here just to fit a 2D plane. Assuming that Mortal Kombat 12 doesn't go back to 3D, which would be really weird. But it would be pretty cool. But that's not gonna happen. First of all, I want weapon clashes. Basically, if you initiate a weapon clash, then you'll take out your weapons and you'll like, ting, 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 you know, like, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but like, say there's two people with swords, then it'll like, ting, 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 and it'll be super fast, and basically you'll have to button mash, and the first person to press the wrong button is the one that loses the clash. You also have to be careful with your weapon. If you get crushing blowed, why does that sound weird? If you get crushing oh yeah, I shouldn't say that. You should also be careful with your weapon, because if someone crushing blows, okay, that's even worse. You should also be careful with your weapon, because if someone does that to you, then you will lose your weapon. There will also be weapons in like the backgrounds of stages. So say there's a stage with like a spear on the ground. You'll be able to pick that up and use it to fight. But you'll only be able to use background weapons for like one combo before throwing it aside, because obviously it'd be unfair if you could just use it the whole match. Also, a common complaint that I hear for the return of weapon combat is the fact that not every character would use weapons. For example, what weapon would characters like Sonya, Jax, or Smoke use? We don't have to worry about that because none of those characters are on my list. Here's my list of every character in my roster of Mortal Kombat 12, which definitely watch my previous video if you want to know why I chose these characters, and also what weapon they would be using in the game. And that's pretty much it for what I want from the gameplay in Mortal Kombat 12. If it's anything like this, then it'll probably be really cool. Now bear in mind with all of these that I am not like a mechanical Mortal Kombat fighting game type of person. I don't know all of the terms like 50/50s and frame data or whatever. I don't know most of that stuff. So if any of my ideas are just completely stupid and would break the game and wouldn't work mechanically or balancing wise, then please tell me in the comments if you're that type of mechanical fighting game player. The next part of Where to Take Mortal Kombat 12 will be about customization. What should be learned from Mortal Kombat 11 and even Injustice 2. And if you want to watch that video when it comes out, definitely make sure you're subscribed and have the bell set to all notifications so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. And if you enjoy the video, make sure to give it a like. And with that being said, that's it for this video, my fellow oddities. I'll see you next time.